So we already know about matrices and how to perform different operations on matrices. Now what we are required to do here is we are going to learn about elementary transformations. So now we shall first of all understand what are these elementary transformations. So suppose here in this case I would say, suppose we are given some matrix. Now in this case, if we apply certain operations onto it, then in that case, if the matrix is having the same order and rank, then that transformation is known as elementary transformation. Now by elementary transformation, we generally can do certain things. So first thing that you can do is you can interchange two rows or columns. Another thing that you can do is multiply a certain row or column with a number which we usually take to be some scalar quantity, right? And then the third thing that we can do is we can add any of the two rows and columns or columns, right? So this is the elementary transformation, and after performing this kind of transformation, basically we are again getting a matrix, and that matrix would have the same order as that of the previous or original matrix, and moreover the rank would also be going to be the same. So in this case, let's see some example. So how do we perform this elementary transformation? So in this case, suppose you are given some matrix as 1, 2, say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 1, 0, 1. Suppose this is some matrix A which is given to us. Now suppose by elementary transformation we are to convert this matrix into some other matrix. So what we can do, we can convert, or we can write this matrix A as I times A, right? There is no issue in that. Now by elementary transformation, our goal is to make this element as I, so such that when we make this as I, this matrix would become A inverse and this would remain A as such. So that means by performing such kind of transformation, we are just converting the matrix A to the corresponding matrix inverse. So this method is also known as Gauss-Jordan method, which we use to find the inverse of certain matrix. So by learning about these elementary transformations, simultaneously let us also understand about this Gauss-Jordan method and what is the procedure to solve questions here, right? So this is the question here. Now let's solve this question. So we can write any matrix A as identity matrix multiplied with matrix A. There is no issue in that, right? We can do that. Now here in place of matrix A, we can write our matrix 1, 2, 3, say 4, 5, 6, and then 1, 0, and 1, say. And here we have the identity matrix of order 3, so 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1. And then we can write the matrix A as such. No need to write the whole of this matrix again. Now what we have to do, we have to apply the elementary transformation, and through this elementary transformation we are trying to convert this matrix as this matrix into the identity matrix, right? And the matrix on the right hand side as the inverse matrix. So this is our aim. The second matrix here, this one would automatically become the inverse of A, matrix A. How? By performing the elementary transformations. So now, because we wanted, our goal here is to convert this matrix, to convert the matrix A into the matrix I by performing elementary transformations, by performing elementary transformations. So let's first of all make this make the first element as identity 1. This element here is already 1, so there is no need to do anything. Now you know the structure of identity matrix, it is like this. So that means next we have to make this element as 0. So how we can make this element as 0? We will always use unit from the same column. So how we can do that? Let's have a look. So now what we were doing, we were making this second element, the element 4 here, as 0. So how we can do that? We can perform the elementary transformation. So we can perform the operation on second row such that we are just converting the second row as second row minus 4 times the first row. That means what we are trying to do here? We are trying to do 4 minus 4 times of first row, that is 1. So when you solve this, you will get 0 here, and our goal was to make this element 4 as 0. So this is the operation that we are going to perform here. Okay, so this operation we have to perform on all the elements for this particular row. So let's see what do we get here. After this step we have, so first row would be as such, no change. Third row would be as such, no change, because we are just applying the operation on the second row. So it would be 4 minus 4 times of 1, so that is 0. Then 5 minus 4 times of 2, right? So it would be 5 minus 4 times of 2. So 5 minus 8, that is minus 3. And the last element, it would be 6 for R2. 6 minus 4 times of R1. R1 is 3. So 6 minus 12. So that would be minus 6, right? So this is the transformed matrix on the left hand side. On the right hand side, again, the first row would be as such, the third row would be as such, and here the second row, what would be that? Again, we have to apply this operation onto this. So your first element would be R2. Here, this is the element. So 0 minus 4 times of R1, that is 1. So which is equal to minus 4. So we write minus 4 here. Next element is 1, right? So 1 minus 4 times of 0. So we have 1 here. So this element is 1. And similarly, we can perform the last, for the last element, it would just be 0. So this is 0, right? Into A. So this is after applying one operation. Now, next we wanted to make this element as 0 again. So how we can do that? Here we can apply this transformation on R3. What we can do, we wanted to shift R3 to 0. So how we can do that? If we subtract from R3 the first row, from third row, if we subtract first row, 1 minus 1, this element would be 0, right? So for the first element, your substitution would be, for R3 it would be 1, this element. For R1 it would be this element. So 1 minus 1, it would be 0. So we wanted to convert R3 to 0. So we can do that using this operation. Now after doing this operation, your first row would be as such, 1, 2, 3. Your second row would be as such. Why? Because we have not applied anything onto this. And for the third element, it would be, third row, it would be 0, right? Using this one. And then R3 minus R1. R3 is 0, R1 is 2. So it would be minus 2. So this element would be minus 2. And for the third element, it would be 1 for R3 and 3 for R1. So it would be minus 2 again, right? So this is your matrix A. And similarly, we can perform the same operation, this one, onto the this matrix, right hand side matrix. So you see no change on the right hand side, first row, no change on the right hand side, second row. However, we have a change on third row. And what is the change? Change is that we are just subtracting row 1 from row 3. So how can we do that? So 0 minus 1, that is minus 1, 0 minus 0, that is 0, and then 1 minus 0, that is 1. So you can do this calculation orally also, and you can do it by writing also, right? That is your choice completely. Okay, now you can see we have 1 0 0. Now next, what do we require for the structure of this identity matrix? We require 1 0 0, 0 1 0, and 0 0 1, right? So now we have obtained this much. Next task is to make the middle element as 1. How we can make this as 1? By making this element as 1. So for making this element as 1, what we have to do on R2, we have to apply the operation R2 divided by minus 3. If we do that, this element would become 1. So let's apply this operation here. So first row would be as such, no change. Third row would be as such, no change. And for the second row, we are just dividing by minus 3. So 0 divided by minus 3 is 0 again. Minus 3 divided by minus 3 is 1. Minus 6 divided by minus 3 is 2. This is for the left hand matrix. For the right hand matrix, the first row would be as such, the third row would be as such, and for the second row, we are doing, we are just dividing by minus 3. So minus 4 divided by minus 3, that would be 4 by 3. 1 divided by minus 3, that would be minus 1 by 3. 0 divided by minus 3 is 0 multiplied with a. So this is after performing this kind of elementary transformation. Next, now you see we have 1 here. So next task is to make this element and this element as 0. So how we can do that? We can do that simultaneously. On first row, we can apply the operation. Now we have to use this particular element 1 in order to make this element from first row and this element from third row as zeros. So on R1, what we are doing, we are performing the operation that subtract from R1 2 times R2. So that means we are saying 2 minus 1 into 2 into 1, right? This should be equal to 0. So this is how we have defined our operation, because we know we require 0 here. So what number should I write here such that using row 1 and row 2, I have something here such that plus or minus this number would be 0. So this is the aim. So using this thing, I have reached on to this operation. Now we can apply this operation onto both of these matrices, this matrix as well as this matrix, right? So here in this case, and similarly for the third element here, this element, we can again apply some operation. So for R3, what we can do, we can apply the operation R3 plus 2 times of R1 now, R2 now. Why? Because you see we have minus 2. So in order to make this plus or minus something into 1 is equal to 0. So what should I write here? I should write plus 2 here in order to make this element as 0, right? So this is exactly what I am doing, R3 plus 2 times of R2, right? So these two operations we will apply simultaneously. So in this case, you can see there is no change on the second row. So therefore, the second row could be written as such 0, 1 and 2. For the first row, we have the operation R1 minus 2 times of R2. So R1 here is 1 minus 2 times of R2. So it would just be 1. Then 2 minus 2, that is 0, as I have told you. Next 3 minus 4, that would be minus 1, right, according to this operation. And according to the next operation on R3, we have R3 plus 2 times of R2. So 0 plus 2 times of 0, that would be 0. Minus 2 plus 2 times of 1. So it would again be 0, right, according to our operation. And next, minus 2 plus 2 times of 2. So it would be plus 2, right. So this is the left hand matrix. For the right hand matrix, no change on the second row. So let me copy down the second row as such. For the first row, we have the operation R1 minus 2 times of R2. So all of this is rough work. Okay. And now we wanted to apply the operation onto this first row here. So for 1, we have 1 minus 2 times of R3. So 1 minus 2 times of R2. R2 is 4 by 3. So how much is that? 3 minus 8 divided by 3. So minus 5 by 3. Right. Next element, 0 minus 2 times of R1. So that would be 2 by 3. And the third element, 0 minus 2 times of 0. So that would just be 0. And for this third operation, operation on the third row, what would that be equal to? So we require R3 and R2 for that. So R3 plus 2 times of R2. So minus 1 plus 2 times of 4 by 3. So it would be minus 3 plus 8 by 3. So that means plus 5 by 3. Here we have 0 plus 2 times of R2. So that would be minus 2 by 3. And then we have 1 plus 2 times of R2. So that would just be 1. Right? 1 plus 2 times of R2 into A. So you see, we have reached very closer to making this matrix as the identity matrix. The only thing that is missing is making this column as 0, 0 and 1. So we'll start here by making this element as 1 first. So how we can make this element as 1? On R3 we can apply the operation R3 divided by 2. So when we do that, our first row would be as such, and second row would be as such, and on the third row we just have to divide by 2. So we would have 0, 0 and 1, right? And on the right hand side also, first row as such, second row as such, and for the third row we have to divide by 2. So that would be 5 by 6, right? And then it would be minus 1 by 3, and then it would be 1 by 2 times A. Now next task is to make the remaining element as zeros. So we will make these two elements as 0 using this element. So that on row 1, what we can do? Row 1 minus something into R3, right? So what should I write here in order to make this minus 1 is 0. So if you see, we have for R1 minus 1, minus something into, for R3 we have 1. So what should I write here? I should write minus 1 here, so that it would be minus 1 plus 1, this would be 0, right? So I should write minus 1 here, right? This is the for the first row. For the second row, what do I require? R2 minus something into R3. Now what is that something? It should be 2 here in this case, because for R2 we have 2 minus 2 times of 1. So if you solve and do this, you will get a 0. And our task and aim was to make these two elements as 0 only, right? So these two operations are defined in order to make both of them as 0. So when we perform this operation here, so let's see what do we have. Our row 3 would be as such, 0, 0 and 1. For first row, it would be R1 plus R3, right? So R1 plus R3 would be written here 1, 0 plus 0 is 0, minus 1 plus 1 is 0 again. For R2, we have R2 minus 2 times of R3. So R2 is 0, R3 is 0, so this would be 0. Then we have R2 is 1 minus 2 times of 0, that is 1 only. And here we would have 0. So you see, we obtain an identity matrix here. So whatever is the matrix that we write here and obtain here, that would be your A inverse. Okay. So now next what we can do? Here also we have to apply the same operations. Your third row would be as such, no change in that, right? For the first row we have R1 plus R3. So R1 is minus 5 by 3, R3 is 5 by 6, right? So what do we have here? 6 minus 10 plus 5, so that would be minus 5 by 6. Next element, it would be 2 by 3 plus of minus 1 by 3. So how much is that? 1 by 3. Next element, 0 and 0 plus R3 is 1 by 2. So that is 1 by 2. This is for first row. Next, for the second row, we have second row minus 2 times of the third row. Second row minus 2 times of third row. For the second row, we can similarly perform the operations. R2 would be, now we have R2 minus 2 times of R3. So this is for the R2. Let me do the calculations here. 4 by 3 minus 2 times of R3, that is 5 by 6. So what do we have? 4 by 3 minus 5 by 3. So that would be minus 1 by 3. For the second element, it would be R2, that is minus 1 by 3, minus 2 times of R3, that is minus 1 by 3. So minus 1 by 3 plus 2 by 3, so that would be 1 by 3, right? And for the last element, we have R2 as 0 minus 2 times of R3, that is 1 by 2. So we have minus 1 here, right? So now in this case, you see here, you obtain I is equal to some matrix which is nothing but A inverse into A. So you can write your A inverse as minus 5 by 6, 1 by 3, 1 by 2, minus 1 by 3, 1 by 3, minus 1, 5 by 6, minus 1 by 3 and 1 by 2. So this is your matrix A inverse. Now next thing what we can do, we can verify this, whether our matrix, the inverse of the given matrix, is it correct or not. So for that, what we can do, we can multiply the given matrix A into the obtained matrix A inverse. So let's have a look. What was our matrix? Our matrix here was 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 0 1. So let me copy down. It is 1 2 3 4 5 6 and 1 0 1, and the inverse matrix that we got here is minus 5 by 6, 1 by 3, 1 by 2, then minus 1 by 3, 1 by 3 and minus 1, 5 by 6, minus 1 by 3 and 1 by 2. So this is the matrix. Now let us just multiply this matrix and see whether this is equal to identity matrix or not. So you see, when you multiply both of these matrices, finally you will get the identity matrix as the answer. So that means this is the correct answer here. The matrix that we obtained is the inverse matrix to the given matrix A. And this method, this is known as Gauss-Jordan method to find the inverse of certain matrix. And here we have also learned that how through this how this Gauss-Jordan method is performed using the elementary transformations. So you see, only these transformations could be applied such that the resulting matrix would have the same order and same rank. So this is the crux for this video. So I hope you understood all the topics well. Well, that is it for this video. Thank you for watching.